Hi everyone, we are here to do two blooms in these little trays that I'm making for my sister. And I'm making two because I'm not sure which one will come out the best, and I am leaving tomorrow, so I want it finished by then. So let's get started. I am using Let's Resin Fast Cure. It's a one-to-one resin. Any Let's Resin product is good. I use them all. It's a great resin to use. I am doing two things. First, my white, of course, and then I'm also doing a pink mica. So I'm going to put that in this cup. And now I need to put some resin in my trays. And I want to let it spread a little bit on its own because I want a light pour in the trays. I'm going around the sides of this one because it's going to have to go in that little dent because I didn't fill it up all the way with my pink edge when I did that. I'll leave a little bit in that cup and we're going to see what it's going to do. Might give it a little help. This mold is not very deep after you, what am I trying to say? After you do this coat with the bloom in it. And I want to leave room for the next layer. So I'm trying to pour as little as possible in here. It does generally have an impact on your bloom too. I don't think if you do, it's so funny, you do a super thin layer, you may not get a great thick dimensional bloom, but if you do too thick of a layer, then you may get blobbies. It's just, resin is a fickle friend, right? Sort of does its own thing most of the time. Moving this one too. All right. I want to get those in there so I can use my alcohol inks on one, but I want the resin to sort of settle to where it's gonna go. I see one spot here that I need to cover up. The light's kind of hitting this funny, so I'm just trying to see, make sure I've got them full. Let's go ahead and mix up our whites now while that's finishing. I am doing a two-part white in this cup. I am doing ocean white, and I'm also going to do a Pinata alcohol ink. So I actually ended up pouring a good bit of resin in here, so I think we need a little over a pea-sized drop. Well, I think I got that right. Try to picture a pea in my head. And then I'm going to add 5 drops of the Pinata. I'm just with a new setup here, so I'm trying to figure out, oh, how can you read the words? Which is the right direction? I held up the Let's Resin bottle for a video earlier, and I was watching the video playback, and the bottle's upside down for you guys. And I thought, well, that's something I'm going to have to figure out while I'm doing this in this new way. But I'm hoping my sound and video quality will improve by doing this. Y'all will have to let me know, though, if it does, if it has that big of an impact on my videos. All right, so we got that mixed in. Let's check the temperature of our white. It's at 35 degrees Celsius, so we're good. Next, I'm going to use my Let's Resin Mica Powder Deep Pink. That's what I also used for the edge in these. So I created this edge with some leftover resin, mixed the mica powder in it, poured it in the edge, and then I just waited 4 hours because I'm in a hurry. I'm going to fill this spoon up, dump it in. And I'm going to give it a mix, but first I'm going to knock it down a little bit so I don't spray it all over the place. Here I go with my wild stirring. With a fast cure resin though, it is thicker, so there are more bubbles. And here I am stirring like a mad woman. I really shouldn't be, because I'm just introducing bubbles by doing that. But I always want to make sure my mica powder's mixed in really well, or else you could get lumpies. No one wants lumps in their final product. All right, so that's mixed. All right, so for this one, which one do I want to do? I think for this one I'll do alcohol inks, and for this one I'll just do the 2 piping. So I had to make the call about what I'm going to do. And I think I'm going to, let me move this cup out of the way. I think I'm going to do, oh, I should tell you. I have Ranger inks. This is an alcohol ink, and it's eggplant. Oops, and I sprayed it all the way across. I'm doing 2 drops. And then I am doing Ranger Inks Cosmopolitan. And then I'm doing a little bit of Ranger Inks Alcohol Ink Juniper. And I'm just spraying everywhere tonight, aren't I? All right, so I'm gonna let those spread and do their thing. Move my inks out of my way. This new setup's got me all discombobulated. All right, so let's get our white in our piping bag. Then we're going to get our pink in our piping bag. Some people can do dirty pours really well, where they combine the white and pink together and do it all in one bag. I am not that person. I have to have 2 bags and do it this way. I just don't feel like I get enough color the other way. I think I had one person say to me before, did you put a different color in there? And I happened to have put 3 in there. It just didn't work out. All right. So I'm going to pipe both of these at the same time. I'm going to get my scissors. I can snip the tip off of this. Okay, can you see that? All right. So for this one, I'm just going to do a traditional sort of spiral, but I'm going to oval it since the shape of the tray is really an oval. And then I'm just going to do a few more lines. And then I'll stop with that one. Actually, I'm gonna put an extra one right here, or some extra resin. All right, and now for this other one, I always have a tough time with the shape of these. So let's think. Notice I just got a little green on the tip of this. All right, so I actually think I'm going to go with the oval, but I might draw the design on there. So I'm gonna just do this, and then I might draw some extras. All right, put back in my cup. Now what I am gonna do is, you see these blobs at the end of these lines? Just gonna pull it out. I don't want blobbies, so I'm just gonna give it a little pull there. All right, so for the first one, I'm gonna go ahead and do my design, and it's just gonna be the traditional I'm saying traditional like it's a thing, but I feel like at this point, this is the traditional drawing of a bloom. On this one here, I'm going to take it in and do my spiral. And now I'm going to do a little bit out. I'll bring this a little bit more. Anything else need to be pulled just a little bit more? All right, I think that's all I'm doing for that. Now for the other one, we got to add our pink. Get my bag ready, give it a good twist. Cut my tip off. So you got a big bubble in there. I might give this a little spray into there. All right, so now I'm just going to repeat the design but with pink. I'm a little wobbly. I'll have to do something about these lights. They are not really helpful. And I'm going to add one outside the white too. I'm not as worried about the pink being blobby. So it could bunch up a little. All right. So now I got my pink in. I'm gonna put that in that cup because I made a mess. All right. So now what are we gonna do here? Well, here I'm gonna do that thing that I like to do where I draw a bloom. I'm trying to do it lightly so I don't mess up the mold. Go up here a little. I need to go back over here. All right, how does it look? Do we have any spots where we think we need to just pull or push or something? All right, I think that looks okay. I think we've got enough design drawn in it that it should work well. All right, so we probably won't come back and back it together. I'll probably go ahead and do that on my own. I'm most likely just gonna pick a solid color, but if by any chance I decide to do something different with the backs, I will go ahead and bring you along for that. I'm gonna give this a quick shot of heat because doing this design does create bubbles. Anytime you're stirring it up, you create a little bit of bubbles. All right, now if this one goes to plan, that might be absolutely gorgeous. I'm pretty excited about it. We'll be back. All right, we are back to see how these came out. Fingers crossed we got something cool. Oh, wow, look at that. That is really cool. Very pretty. Very pretty. All right, we are back to see how these came out. Fingers crossed we got something cool. Oh, wow, look at that. That is really cool. Very pretty. Very pretty.